Back on the Best Soccer Show, North American Soccer Network, NASN.TV, NASNradio.com, and we're happy to be joined now by U.S. international and AZ Alkmaar striker Jozy Altidore. How are you, Jozy?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yourself?
Let me ask you a question. As an American, should I say AZ or should I say AZ?
AZ.
AZ? Okay. See, I've been messing it up the whole time, Jared. I feel terrible. AZ Alkmaar striker Jozy Altidore. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Jozy. I know you're back in the States for Christmas. As you get ready to close out your 2012, how do you put this season in perspective? What do you think of or not season, the whole year? What do you think of in terms of the strides you've made as a player? How do you think of those?
I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it was a good year for me. Just in terms of being consistent and trying to be a consistent threat on my team. I thought I did that for the most part of the year. I mean, is there improvement? Of course, there's a lot of ways to improve, but I thought just looking back at all 2012 and just helping the team and being a constant goal threat, I thought I did that in a lot of ways, and there's still a lot of ways I can improve on that always. But I thought I made some steps in the right direction.
You know, Jozy, we saw over here in the States a little bit of news going on about you having the names of the victims from the Newtown school shooting on your boots over the weekend. How much play did that get over there? I mean, is it as big of a story there as it was here? Because that was a huge deal, and obviously you giving a shout out to the victims of that is kind of a big deal here too in the soccer circles.
To be honest, I wasn't really looking at how would it affect media-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I just did it, like I said, because it hit really close to home for me, and having a niece who's around that age, and how I would feel if she wasn't around anymore, taken from us so swiftly. So it was more of just, it hit really close to home for me. I wasn't really paying attention to the effect it would have media-wise and where it would reach media-wise. So I didn't really pay attention to that. And also I left, the night after, the same night of the game I left. So I wasn't around to see or hear about any, feedback from other people around there. But saying that, that really wasn't the point of it anyway.
Did you feel any extra burden as you were playing out there with those names on your boots? Was it a good feeling that you were paying tribute to people that lost their lives way too soon, or was it kind of like maybe an little extra thing on your shoulders as you were out there playing?
It was just more of it was like I said, it was more of it just when I talked to my niece on the phone, it just hit me, that could have been, that was her, and how empty, our family would feel without having her around, and especially on the holiday seasons, Christmas is a big time for family, and kids really enjoy it, so for those families to not have those kids around, it's really tough, and I just tried to show that, it also hit me any way that I could, and that was the idea that me and the people around me could come up with.
Yeah, we're talking to two fathers here, so we can really feel you on that. And going back to soccer, transitioning back to soccer, watching you play and watching your goals over the last, definitely the ones you've had over the last 2 weeks here, but even this whole season in general, from our perspective, and we've talked about it on the show, it seems like the game is almost slowing down for you. The types of goals that you're just over last weekend, the 2 cutbacks, it's the type of things that players would talk about when they say the game slows down and they see a few steps ahead. Do you feel that you're reaching that point now where your mind's operating at a pace faster than the game?
I just think it comes from just experience. I think the more experiences you get, you kind of you try to anticipate things a little more. And I think that just happens with, like I said, experiencing more, and playing a lot more games and also, developing. I think training and just becoming an all-around sharper player, your awareness, your timing, your runs, and even beating defenders. It's all part of it. It's all a process that I think that, I've been doing well in over the past year and a half, and I think it's showing in my game, and I just feel comfortable on the field. And to answer your question in terms of seeing the game, slowing it down a little more, I think it's a little bit, but at the same time, I think it's more of thinking a little bit faster. I think that's what, more of the thing that I've improved on.
As U.S. men's national team fans, getting ready for 2013 means getting ready for the Hex. What kind of things are you looking towards? Have you looked at the schedule? Are you aware of whether it'll be extra difficult this time around? Have you had any talks with teammates about what to expect for the hexagonal?
my biggest concern is just getting on the team to begin with. I just want to make the squad first, and then from there, try to contribute any way I can. But I haven't really spoken to any guys. I mean, I think the whole format speaks for itself. It's going to be difficult going into those environments and playing those teams. I mean, it's never going to be easy. I think if any time, I think now is actually the time where you can look at it and say, it's going to be one of the hardest roads of the World Cup I think the U.S. has ever had.
Jozy, I want to pick up on one thing you said there. You said even making the team, and it's funny to even hear you say that because we know how great of a season you've been having. Can you talk a little bit about prepping for a Klinsmann camp versus prepping for a Bob Bradley camp? Is there any difference in terms of how you mentally prepare or physically prepare going into a camp for Klinsmann?
The Klinsmann camps are just, I think it's more of a, I don't know how to explain. I think it's just different here. What type of things you're going to be doing. And that's just coaching. Coaches always have their different ways of going about things. And his is he approaches camps in a more intense manner in terms of, less downtime and more time, interacting with your teammates and, doing whether it's nutrition stuff or stuff for your mentality, stuff like that. So he's just more kind of hands-on in terms of how he wants to approach things.
As we came down the stretch of the MLS season over here, Jozy, a lot of the talk was, LA Galaxy drove the headlines. David Beckham decides to leave the team. That's a big deal. The subplot was that Landon Donovan is talking about taking this break, and I don't know how much you've been paying attention to what Landon has said, but can you talk a little bit about what it might mean for the national team if Landon Donovan decides that he needs to take an extended break and doesn't show up and play for the U.S. next year?
It just means that, whoever, is next in line has to step up and kind of, play help the team, and a big role in those games and try to, make things happen. There's nothing else you can do. Landon's human. He makes his own decisions. He's a big boy. If he chooses that, he chooses it. And if he chooses to play, then he's going to give us his everything. But you can't kind of sit and wait to see what he's going to do. You have to hope that there's somebody else who can come in there and try to, affect the team in a positive way. Missing Landon is obvious. He's a great player, but at the same time, there has to be somebody else that can come in and try to do the job.
Jozy, I'm not sure how much you were able to pay attention to any MLS headlines while you're over there in Europe, but one of the things that's come across in the last week or so is that there's rumors out there that MLS might be partnering with USL Pro for their reserve league to have all the reserve teams play basically semi-pro games versus trying to get reserve games together. As someone that came up as a youth player for the New York Red Bulls, is that something that you think could have helped your development, or you think that's a good thing for the league to start putting these guys that aren't getting regular games at the MLS level, getting them games at the USL Pro level instead?
I think it certainly can't hurt. I'm a guy. I grew up. I came through the reserve league. I had my first experiences playing the reserve games. I would play, 30 minutes with the first team, go in the locker room, and come right back out again and play the reserve game after. So, the reserve team had a big influence in my career at Red Bull. So I think it's really important that those guys are getting games, and I think it can't hurt. In Europe, they do that a lot. A lot of the second teams and the youth divisions, they play in those semi-leagues, and it gives them experience. It keeps them fit and it keeps them going, and it keeps their development going. And I think that's important in America right now. We need that type of thing. It certainly can't hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting guys, younger guys, games. Now, as a guy who went into MLS, at 17, a lot of these guys are going to college. Do you see a potential where a reserve league situation like this will keep guys going from college, guys that you might have played with when you were younger?
Well, I think it's a tough one. I think the age thing plays a bit of a part. The development. I think if you have young guys coming in, like when I came out at 16, 15, you have guys like that. I think that's essential to them. That's really important. But at that age, I think you should kind of be playing at the highest level you can find.
Jozy, you're back in the States right now, back home in Florida. As a guy, when I would go away to college and I come home, there's always those first couple things I got to do when I get home. You're back in Florida. What's the first place you got to hit when you hit back in Florida?
Well, I hit home. I had my mom made a whole bunch of food, so I've been eating like crazy. And then now, for me, the biggest thing is heading to South Beach, man. That's where I'm at tonight, and enjoy it, and just enjoy my time with my family and just soak it all in.
Jozy, did you bring any cheese back with you? Because I watched your thing on ussoccer.com, and it seems that your city is cheese crazy.
I brought some Euro cheese back from my family. It's the best cheese around, man. I'm serious. That stuff is underrated. So I brought some of that for my family. My mom made mac and cheese with it last night, so it was nice.
Do you think that your video, U.S. Soccer, will spur a whole tourism industry, Americans going to Alkmaar, just based on the fact that it looked so great in your video? That was fantastic.
No, it's beautiful, man. It really is. It's really, it's as good as advertised. It's a great, quiet little city, tons to do. So, I had a lot of fun there. I mean, Amsterdam's only 30 minutes down the road, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. It's a really good experience. I'd recommend it to people.
We appreciate you taking the time, Jozy. Go enjoy home and have a Merry Christmas. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Happy holidays, you guys.
Jozy Altidore joining us from Florida on his holiday break. I always like it when guys take time from, home time. It's home time for Jozy. He doesn't have to talk to us.
I just like that his mom made mac and cheese from the good cheese that they brought back from Europe.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, I don't even see. I'd be worried about ruining the cheese. Like, isn't that?
I'm not a cheese guy. I hate cheese. I hate.
Do you really? You're one of those people?
Oh, I hate. I despise it.
Well.
So it's like I don't get it. But from people that I know, all my friends that love cheese, I mean, it looked like it looked like the most amazing Disneyland of dairy.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. Let's wrap this up. We'll take a break. We'll come back and I don't know. We'll close out with some more Christmas thoughts and maybe an email or two. Do we have any emails? I don't think we have any emails. Best Soccer Show, North American Soccer Network, NASN.TV.